Oh, another retribution. You know what? We're here for the demoralization. And they're gone. We have our next opponent and a very keepable hand. We're going to go ahead and hold this and see what happens. Let's see what we're facing off against. Opponent leading with black and a Concealing Curtains. Shambling Gas coming down to the board, and we will now move into the next stage. Herald, King of the Skemfar, pulling in, giving us a token, and bringing another War Master into consideration. Opponent will have to use that Concealing Curtains this turn to dispose of the War Master, but with the Return Upon the Tide available, this is going to be a very good play for us. We will be able to bring it right back. Do they go for the Tide? Nope, they go for the War Master. It is a good play on its face. We'll go ahead and remove the curtain, or the Revealing Eye. And another War Master. Cursebound Witch coming to the board. Do they swing? We are now in a very dangerous position from a Mythic Massacre perspective. Opponent double blocking. If they don't meat hook this turn, we could potentially turn this right around. Let's see what they've got. They're thinking about it. They could have a Blood on the Snow, another meat hook. And by another, I mean the first that we would have seen this game. They always have it. Westgate Regent, that is an intriguing play. Matter of fact, we are more than happy to let them have that. Now that I think about it, though, they can very easily now meat hook us, keep the Regent on the board, and then we are just done for. I should have held off on that particular play. Not very smart on my part. But they don't have it. This game is done, folks. I've got enough to make a massive pump. They don't have enough to block everything that's about to come hit them. And they should have held up for a block. That is going to come back and bite them. Here's the pump. Here's the swing. 21 damage just on the tokens alone. That is a GG. And once again, War Masters sweep the board clear. We have our next opponent. If their name is anything to be believed, they are medium sad. This hand has the potential to bite us, but there's too much goodness here to just turn it down. We're going to go ahead and play a keep, get the War Master down, and see if we can draw into the mana we need. That first turn, of course, is not helping us. Opponent showing Dimir colors. Is this a zombies deck or something more control-oriented? Geist Channeler, I am leaning towards control now. Go ahead and swing in with the Blightblade, see if they want to trade. Opponent opting to trade. Interesting call on their part. What we really need now is mana. Opponent now up to 3 of their own. And there's the Blood Chief's Thirst, so we are now no board presence and in a bad position mana-wise. There's another War Master. That is most likely, if I had to guess, Poison the Cup, but we will find out. They're touching it. Could be Poison the Cup targeted removal. Nope, Fading Hope. Okay. Not the worst thing that could have happened to us there. Could also be a Sod coming. That would not be surprising in this moment either. And the touch indicates that's probably what's on its way. Sod coming. There goes our second War Master. We are desperate for a mana. One more turn without a mana, folks. If they put down 5, we're probably just gonna have to call it. There's a mana. They are now sitting full-throatedly on enough to do anything they want counterspell-wise. Let's see if they let us keep this. Divide by 0. And we are playing a game of yo-yo. Do they drop the environmental? They do. Put them to 3 mana, once again making another Divide by 0 available. Showing red, Grixis. That makes things more and more interesting. Let's go ahead and see if we can get the Skemfar down. Let's see if we can keep it down. 5 mana on the top 5 cards. That is hard. So that's 5 mana to the bottom. And the opponent has, once again, killed our board presence. 1 more mana and I suspect we'll see a big nasty spell coming. I don't see what they use that Geist Channeler on. Now up to 6 mana and a go blank. That's unfortunate as it does get rid of 2 out of our 3 War Masters. But this is advantageous. Let us see if we can draw into something good. We will take the Yaris. And by Yaris, I mean Varus. Opponent already looking to remove it. Not shocking. So Lundy Vision. Interesting. Let's see what they reveal sorcery-wise, or instant. Another Divide by 0. Well, they allow it to stick. Let's draw out that Divide by 0 while we can. Or do they elect to hold it up? Either way, we're going to swing in for 4 here and at least get a little bit of a poke on their health. There's the Divide. What do they take? If I had to guess, a Mascot Exhibition. Could also be sitting on any number of board wipes. Introduction to Annihilation. With the mana to take down the Varus. They let it pass. Let's see if we can get the Tactician down to the board this time. with the mana issues we've had, we're going to go ahead and elect to create that treasure token. No need to play this out, folks. Hullbreaker Horror is the game finisher. We have found our next opponent, and once again we have made a deck pivot. It's been very difficult keeping consistent wins going. We're going to go ahead and decline, let that tap down. No need to show off that we have the mana we're going to need. 2 Righteous Valkyries off the start and a Furia's Retribution to follow it up. Showing against a mono green, this might be a little slow, but it's going to be everything we're going to need here in just a moment. That is less than ideal, letting it go to Nightbound right from the start. But we'll get the one thing that we need off that Furia's, and that would be the tick for the Angel. Righteous Valkyrie coming down. Opponent could have targeted removal here, but they're not showing Snowland, so it's not necessarily going to be a fight spell. But then again, it could be. Opponent now up to 4 mana, or 4 power on that Frenzy Trapbreaker. Howlpack Piper, one of our favorite cards in the set so far. Let's see what they elect to follow that up with. A Reckless Stormseeker, that is a big, big girl. And we are right back up to 17. Gonna need to find some way to double spell here if we want to have any chance of getting back into this, but so far we don't have anything that's going to allow us to. But we may have our pathway to a finale here. If we can kill this Trapbreaker and get our Rampage of the Valkyries down, we're going to be in really good shape. Unfortunately, we don't get the chance. Opponent just did the job for us, though. Going to take a little bit of a recoup on the health. And pass the turn. Alana and Elena partners. Not what we want to see. Opponent coming in a big way. Gonna go ahead and start recouping some of that health. Gonna have to choose if they want the Helana and Elena to survive. And they're gonna have to choose whether or not they want to sacrifice that Liberator to take out the Rampage of the Valkyries. This card could be the swinging card that we need to turn this around. Alright, they've moved to combat. Where do they put that counter? They put it on the Stormseeker. Gonna force them to choose whether they want to sacrifice the Liberator for the Valkyries. And what do they sacrifice? Not going to be an easy decision. There goes the Piper. Now do they remove the Liberator? Play with fire to the face. They're trying to go for broke here on the damage. Continuing to draw all the mana we have in our hand. Aquaria's Retribution coming down. This is going to be a big deal. Once again, giving us enough health to stay in this game. Do they sacrifice Helana and Elena, though, to give themselves a chance? Once again, we're going to be back up to 16 health. What do they have coming down? They've drawn into more land, as we have. We are sitting on all of the land in our deck. Den of the Bugbear coming in tapped, so that's not going to help them in this moment. Now the question becomes, can I make the sacrifice play I need to make? Opponent's going to have to sacrifice 2 creatures here. What do they elect to sacrifice? That's okay. You get to wipe your own board. Congratulations. That is beautiful. That will allow us to get back in this game. Play with fire to the face. They are desperately scrying and they can't take it. Even though we had a rough road to climb, the Angels have brought us back into this. We have found another opponent, and we could be facing off against the same person we just played against, based solely on the avatar. I don't remember, but they are showing werewolf sleeves and a Helana and Elena avatar. Let's see what we end up against here. They go first, leading in with green. No reason not to believe that this isn't a Gruul Werewolves deck. Oh, and that Aspirant is a blessing. I'm going to go ahead and decline the reveal. Opponent now leading in with double green and in search of greatness. This could be enchantments. Angel of Unity coming down. We're going to go ahead and start pumping. Starnheim Aspirant going to get the first of these pumps. Opponent is showing green-white, actually, with that branch loft. So this is definitely an enchantments build. Now up to double green and a white. We're going to go ahead and put the Aspirant down on the board. And add a pump to the Angel of Destiny. With this, I'll now be able to double play the Valkyrie and the Angel of Destiny on this next turn, giving us a huge pump. Another In Search of Greatness comes down, so that means they have no attack spell. They're going to go ahead and swing it, and we're going to let them, because we're not too afraid of this. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this game is just setting us up for excellence. We're going to go ahead and play the Valkyrie on 1. Pump the Valkyrie on 2. Play the Valkyrie on 2. Big pumps coming. Vanishing Verse to the Wolfpack. And the opponent is gone. What a draw. Sometimes, as they say, you just draw the nuts, and that was it. We picked up an excellent series of cards, allowing us to climb further. Angels on High are helping us climb through Platinum. We have our next opponent, another Jace avatar. Could be Mill, could be Control, could be any number of things. This is a hand we're going to keep, though. Youthful Valkyrie on 2 to start our creature presence. We can start foretelling the Vengeful Reapers and building the Valkyrie up, and a Vanishing Verse to remove any initial pesky threats. Opponent leading with black. Valkyrie down. Opponent now showing black-white. They are clerics. I'm going to go ahead and let this pass, see what happens. Vanishing Verse is now effectively useless, but if they drop a Valkyrie, we can take it away. Or if they drop a Voice of the Blessed, we can take it away. Shattered Sanctum is a godsend. Bye-bye, Voice of the Blessed. Hello, Vengeful Reaper. And now with Death Touch, we are effectively stonewalling any big cards that could come down in the future here. Rampage of the Valkyries up next. We can wipe their board clean with sacrificial plays. Righteous Valkyrie down. That is good for us. Do you go for it into Death Touch? Righteous Valkyrie of our own. That is huge. They will, of course, block this. Doesn't make any sense not to. But we're just reminding them that we're still here. Skyclave Apparition. Rampage is too big, but you can take the Death Touch. As they said in The Fast and the Furious, too soon, Junior. It's a core spirit, doesn't fall under clerics, I forget that. Go ahead, swing in. Do we forget what Rampage does? We will take that trade every day. And you can go ahead and give us back a spirit creature. A 4/4 spirit creature, because again, it's based off initial mana cost, not what we cast it with. Gonna go ahead and bring in the Righteous Valkyrie. Pump the Youthful Valkyrie and bring in another Youthful Valkyrie for the health tick. And now you have to decide, do you want to sacrifice the Righteous Valkyrie or save your health? This is very quickly going to spiral out of control for the opponent. Taking the hit, now down to 11, and putting them further and further away from the vaunted 27 health that they need to really make that Valkyrie sing. Another Skyclave Apparition, so we're going to lose the Valkyrie here. Ooh, but they go for the Youthful Valkyrie. Intriguing playline for them. Furious Retribution, you can't ask for much better, folks. That's a big pump. And we'll just continue to swing with wild, reckless abandon. Opponent can't kill any of our creatures outright. And we will continue to fill our board with more blockers. Unless they have a board wipe, this is in our favor. And with the next tick, the Valkyrie's going to be out of our way and we can swing home to victory. Opponent, I think, is seeing it. Let's see if they make that connection or if they like to try and play it out. Or the Skyclave Hierophant. Okay. They're holding on. Oh, another Retribution. You know what? We're here for the demoralization. And they're gone. We have our next opponent. Sorin the Mirthless Avatar could be facing off against Mono Black. This hand is a little slow, but we're going to go ahead and take a chance on it. Two Vengeful Reapers able to come down at 2 mana apiece. This is a worthwhile hold, and with that 4th mana coming in, we are now in a very advantageous position. Blue mana off the start is a little worrisome though, so we'll have to see what we're up against here. Blue-white, so now they are showing that they are an Azorius deck. At least Azorius, potentially Esper. Let's go ahead and put a Foretell there, keep them guessing. Black-white could be any number of things. Foretell could also mean any number of things. We have not yet revealed that we are an Angels deck. And there's a black. Let's see if they play something. They don't. We'll go ahead and see if we can draw out the Jawari. Don't want to sacrifice the Righteous Valkyrie to do it, but there's the Jawari. End of the day, we have a couple of excellent cards sitting on deck that will allow us to move into a really advantageous position here. Foretell, give us one more turn to set up. Be able to play around Jawari with the Furias. Could also be sitting on Divide by Zero. Disdainful Stroke. It's been a pretty popular inclusion in a lot of these decks. Opponent now showing 2 mana. That is good for us. Let's go ahead and get the Rampage down on the board. Opponent is staring into the darkness now. What are they thinking? They're holding priority. Do they Fading Hope our token? Opponent's still several mana away from a Hullbreaker, but it doesn't mean that they're not without teeth. Let's go ahead and drop an Angel of Unity, see if we can draw out some more removal. Opponent is taking their time. Do they counter this? Wash away. Could be sitting on another one. We're going to go ahead and try and bait it out as we continue to pump our Angel of Destiny. Now up to a 5/9. Big, big boy. And to Divide by Zero, putting it back to our hand. We'll continue to take those pumps. That is advantageous for us. Start from scratch, going to go after our Rampage here on this next turn. Except they can't. It's an enchantment, not an artifact, so they're going to have to do a 1 damage ping. I wonder if they realize that. Doomscar wiping the board clean. That is okay for us. Going to go ahead and see if we can get the Angel of Destiny to the board, and we do. Now the question is, does it survive the next turn? Vanishing Verse, it does not. Opponent effectively holding us at bay. Discover the formula. They're going for broke. That means the Hullbreaker is probably in hand. Go ahead and take 2 damage and watch our hope fade away. Opponent has now revealed the Esper. Key to the Archive coming down. That's intriguing. Depending on what they draw out of there, we may not be able to compete. Drop to start from scratch. See if we can draw out another Disdainful Stroke from the opponent. The more angels that hit the board, the better for us. The bigger the Youthful Valkyrie can get, and the more targets they're going to have to try and remove with that Hullbreaker. Opponent is taking their time here. There's a Vanishing Verse on the Youthful Valkyrie. Can only get 4 damage out of this hit. I lied. Only going to get 2 damage out of this hit. That is unfortunate. This will be the breaker turn. We have an outside chance of making this happen. They're electing to pass all the way through. They're not particularly clever. We know what it is. Well, go ahead. You have the Teferi. Utilize its abilities. Opponent taking their time. Another Key to the Archive hitting the deck. Well, they're going to most likely turn the Key to the Archive back on its side with the Teferi. What do they discard? Day of Judgment. They've elected to get rid of a board wipe. That is a perplexing call, to say the least. Do they have a bounce spell? That is a good pickup for us. Let's see if we can draw out some bounce or removal. Dividing by 0, the Vengeful Reaper. And they're taking a Mascot Exhibition. Well, if they don't have the Hullbreaker, this could be our game, as we will have the Double Strike this coming turn. It's going to be close. Approach of the Second Sun. That puts him up to 17 health. This is going to be very close. It's going to be down to the wire, folks. Are they tapping down for Doomscar? It could be that that's what's happening here. We could be Doomscarred off the board. Or are they going to put the mascots down? There's the Doomscar. Go ahead and keep the Teferi out of range. There's the Mascot Exhibition. That's not going to be enough to keep us from swinging through. And they're going to have to go into their hand. What do they pull out? Memory Deluge, continuing to dig deep into the well. 38 cards remaining for the opponent. And we are continuing to draw dead into mana. They, of course, are going to have the Approach to the Second Sun from that Memory Deluge. You know, you can make the call at any time here to play the card that is going to win you the game if you're so confident you have it. Discover the formula, so they don't have it. We're not particularly worried about any damage they can do here. It's now a one-turn game, folks. Did they draw the approach? They didn't. Hullbreaker coming down is a sign. Do we have it in us to pull the win out? There was a tremendous desire to scoop there, but we might have this. And the Fateful Absence is going to cripple them because they're going to have to sacrifice. That was not a good bounce. They should have bounced the Rampage. Unless they're just toying with us. Divine Purge. But that's 4 or less, isn't it? And I didn't get a chance to pop the clue because I wasn't watching what I was doing. Opponent has plenty of mana and a lot of spells to choose from. Are they going to be able to clear the whole board here? And there's the approach. They were just effing with us. We have another opponent and a very keepable hand with this Angel's archetype. Opponent showing mono black to start. And that is not good for us. Hopefully we can draw into our Vanishing Verse. Do they take our 2-drop, or do they take our Valkyrie? They take the Valkyrie. Youthful Valkyrie on the board, an angel that we can trade. They can't attack in any further with that Valky. They don't have the mana yet to turn it over, and the Blood Chief's Thirst, so they're going to go ahead and swing in regardless. Let's see if the opponent's sitting on more removal. Once again playing into a tapped land, and they're electing not again to turn the Righteous Valkyrie over on the Valky. We are now 1 turn away from a fantastic turn. Being able to put Rampage of the Valkyries down on the board is going to be big for us. Pending any exile or discard effects from the opponent, we are going to be in a very good position here. And you can go ahead and -3, that's only going to take away the Reaper. We still have the lifelink. And Rampage is down. With that, we'll go ahead and start poking at Professor Onyx. Angel of Destiny will be coming down on the next turn. Prosperous Innkeeper. This could be a swarming deck. Does the opponent elect to swing? This will be good for us. It will once again allow us to continue to pump this Angel of Destiny to the moon. Going to go ahead and foretell the Vengeful Reaper. Beauty of the vigilance. Can't stop me swinging. We're gonna get a 9 health bounce from the Angel of Destiny here. That's gonna be huge. Do they pull an Annihilation? Containment Breach. They're gonna go after the Rampage. It will most likely be too little too late, though. Do they have the speed with which to do it? They're gonna put Valky in the air. It's looking that way. Yep, Valky to the air. Opponent is now desperately trying to get the Professor up to a point where they can now remove one of our threats. Opponent is up to 5 available mana. There's the Containment Breach on the Rampage. This game is too kind to us, folks. The Professor Onyx is going to go down here. And we're going to get our Valkyrie pack. That is glorious. With the Rampage sitting in our hand, that means that we're going to be able to reset ourselves back to an acceptable board state and potentially win on this next turn. Without a flying blocker available now, they are in serious trouble. Angel of Destiny is a terrifying card to have on the battlefield against you. Granted, they have plenty of mana, so if they draw even a single useful removal spell, this could be it for the Angel. Interesting. Cragplate Baloth is not a card you see that often. Big kicker card. Binding the Old Gods. So there goes the Angel, but little do they know we're sitting on once more another Rampage, which just keeps us even more immune to anything they could be trying here. And without any blockers to stop us, we're going to take the Onyx off the board. And another land. That is good. Let's go ahead and put the assault block up. Give us a few more big creatures. And they're going to lose 10 life for this. Opponent now sacrificing creatures, digging desperately, but they're not going to have anything to be able to dig themselves out of this particular moment. Unless they draw a board wipe this turn, this game is ours. Did they find a board wipe big enough to clear us? They could have Blood on the Snow, they have the mana for it. It's not going to be a great Blood on the Snow in terms of what it draws back for them, but they could have it. And we do have a Righteous Valkyrie that's fully available for them to take. Another snow mana to the board. There's a Meat Hook for 6. That is a huge Meat Hook massacre. But alas, we still have more threats coming down and hasted. Opponent is full of good manners. Let's see if they've got more wipes and more things to take us out. There's Nissa of the Shadowed Boughs. 3/3 elemental with menace. That's not going to be enough to take us out of the Valkyrie's bonus range. Lolth, that will be a stopgap. Spiders are going to slow us down. And once again, our health is just getting further and further out of reach. No need to swing at the planeswalkers. This could be a Cragplate Baloth coming down following the Nissa using an ultimate. Key to the Archive. Every deck plays Key these days. Is that going to be enough to turn this around for them? They don't have white mana, so Day of Judgment is not available to them as of yet. Opponent is pondering, but do they have what it takes? They may have to sacrifice the Lolth to give them the one turn they are going to need to move into where they have a chance to win here. But if they don't put blockers on the board, they're not going to have any shot at stopping me. I have 11 damage already facing down. There comes the Baloth. 8/8. Hexproof and haste. 8 damage drops us right to 27. That's not enough. There's the spiders. Gonna go ahead and let it through. We're not too worried at this particular moment. Oh, and that, my friends, is why we play the game. Gonna go ahead and clear the way for whatever it is. Continue to pound home, hit him for 4, bring him down to 7. If the opponent wipes the board, we get everything back. That is beautiful. Gotta love the Lisa. There's Approach the Second Sun. Renan's 7. That's going to be a big body blocker. Do you attack all the way? You do. Do I have enough to get around? 11 damage. We're going to go ahead and take this and see what happens. Drops our bumper. That may not have been the right call. Opponent is now a series of cards away. Let's see if the opponent elects to take the full block. They do. If they attack in, we're going to double block here. Big sacrifice coming. Approach is now 2 cards away. Storm the Festival is on deck. That's going to be a risky play if they elect to Storm the Festival here. They've got the mana for it, but I think that loses them Approach. Oh boy. That is an intriguing play. They managed it. I should have gone all in. Well, Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to end the sprint here. Looks like Platinum Tier 2 is kind of where we're just going to stay this season.